Hey guys, my friend Mary had asked me about yield max ETFs, and I'll be honest, guys, I don't know anything about this stuff. This guy who passive income investing, this is what he does. He invests in basically all these ETFs and stuff that are yielding more than 10%. He has over $1 million portfolio. He gets $12,000 a month. He's young. He's retired. It's him and his wife. But still, him and his wife can live comfortably on $10,000 or $12,000 income coming in every month, and you don't even have to lift a pen or a pencil or nothing, and just sit back and relax and sip martinis on the ocean and enjoy the beauty of nature. But I would recommend for her and anyone else interested in these kind of things. This thing was 4 months ago. These are very new, so really we don't have the data. We don't really know. What I found interesting though was they had thought about doing this for single tickers, and basically what they do is this guy talks to the fund managers, which is this guy, and this guy seems pretty bright, and kind of they wanted to do this on Berkshire Hathaway, which would actually be I'm sure that would catch on very quickly. The problem with Berkshire is the volatility is not very much because Buffett owns most of it, and he's never selling. So the and then if it goes down too much, Berkshire is going to rebuy their own shares. So the 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 way you make money, and I would look for something more volatile and that has a more upside. Tesla I don't like because I think it's not worth half of what it. I don't even think it's. I think it's going to go down 70, 80, 90% at some point. It's just way overvalued. But yeah, I just don't know enough about it to really comment. So I would say to check out this guy's listen to this interview, and I think anytime you force money into an impossible return, is usually does not end well. 70% dividend. I mean, yeah, I mean, buy it, throw $1,000, $100, whatever you want to do, and maybe you get 70% of your money back within the first year, and that's awesome. And then year two, you're in the profit. But I wouldn't go all in on it or anything like that. I think if you got 20 or 30 ETFs or 20 or 30 cover calls or 20 or 30 monthly dividend payers, and then this is one of the 20, you'll be fine. And if you get the 70% yield, beauty. But I don't think 70% is possible as far as the dividend goes. But maybe. You never know. But these are really very new, very new. So but anyway, if you invest in these things and you're doing really well, I hope to hear from you and let me know what you think. Um, I'm here for you guys. I'm trying to make you guys some money. I want to make some money myself, but I want to make um, some money for you guys too, because with with 80% of the industry basically ripping people off, and they get below market returns. 80% of portfolio managers get 7% return, whereas if you had just stuck your money in a S&P 500 index, you probably would have got 10. But but times are different now, and like I said, the fear I have as far as the ETFs and stuff go is the computers, the quant computers, they don't care. They don't really. There's no one telling them, okay, this is cheap, this is expensive. Don't sell at this price. All they know is buy and sell. That's all. A lot of the and with all the retirees, the baby boomers retiring. Well, I think it's what 8,000 every month or 8 million every. I can't remember what the numbers are, but basically almost all the baby boomers are retired or about to be retired, and so what do I mean? Basically there's nobody buying the ETFs if all the baby boomers are retired, right? So there'd be less people buying, and there's going to be more people selling because you need the baby boomers are going to need that money to retire on, to live on. Because as we know, most people in this country only have $100,000 to retire on, which ain't shit. I mean, most people, the average person spends $50,000 a year. They only got $100,000. Social Security is $20,000, so there's a $30,000 hole. That $100,000 ain't gonna last very long, and then, and not to mention, you're gonna lose a quarter of it when you sell and pay taxes on it, unless you got it in like a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. But the point I was trying to make a long time ago in one of my other videos, and this is a ramble, but what happens when everybody is selling and there's no buyers? My point is technically probably would never happen, but it's possible that some of the ETFs could go to zero. Why? Because if there's only sellers and there's no buyers, the price would keep going down, and then the average person, the know nothing investor, looks at their account. They thought they had $400,000 in their 401k, and they look, and then one day they say, "Oh my gosh, I got 200,000, and then I got to sell. I'm panicking." And then then the next person looks and down, and theirs down to 100,000. Oh my gosh, I don't want to lose my last 100,000. I gotta sell too. I don't like it, but I gotta sell. And then so it starts a chain reaction of panic, and markets operate on fear and panic. And then the short sellers see this panic, and they start shorting, and they go overboard, and all the quant computers start operating, and they see this, everyone's selling, and they start shorting the market, and then when do you buy it? Do you buy it 70%? Do you buy it 80%? Do you buy it when you're down 90%? I mean, that is why I think ultimately it's better to buy the underlying asset, the underlying security. I mean, there's more ETFs than there is company. There's more ETFs and stuff than there is stocks. I mean, there's thousands of stocks, but there's even more ETFs and that kind of thing. And to me, why pay a fund manager or something or to run this ETF when I can just buy the underlying security myself, and not have to pay that fee. But I would say 70% dividend is just bonkers. It's something we've never seen before. I mean, even 10% I would caution people on, and I've bought these 10% ones plus, and what happened, basically I'm down 20 or 30% on a lot of them. Hey, I got my 10 or 15% dividend, yeah, and I'm continuing to repurchase shares at a lower price, but a 10 or 15% dividend is not worth it if the underlying security goes down 30%, in my opinion. But if you're wanting to just focus on income and have some of these dividend stocks paying some of your monthly bills or whatever, I got no problem throwing somebody investing in something like this. I mean, maybe it's a great strategy. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to really comment, but the guy interviews a lot of fund managers and gets their perspective on how they run the fund and that kind of thing. So, as you can see, the NAV is basically the net asset value. So, if you pay close attention to some of these funds, it's not often, but sometimes you can buy the let's say the stock price is $17.50, right? So if you know the net asset value is $17.54, and you can buy the stock at ETF whatever at $17 or $17.50, you're at least buying below the net asset value. Or let's say the stock was trading at $15, and then you got $2.50 cushion. This is a really small fund, as you can see. They only have less than $6 million. For a fund manager, $6 million is really pennies. But here's the closing price is $17.37. So it's actually below the net asset value. Not very much, but it's below the. But I don't know what the fee is. I'm sure there's some kind of fee for having this fund, so I don't know if the fee is 2%, 3%. I don't know what it is, but sure you could find that information out before you buy it. Not really my cup of tea, but if they start, if they do well, maybe could be one of 20 or 30 positions that I might take a gamble on, but I just think it's very I'll say again, anytime you force money into returns that are unrealistic, it usually does not end well. A lot of times people use leverage to boost their return, but it also boosts the decline on the downside too. So you got to be careful about whether these funds are using leverage and that kind of thing. And when you're talking options and stuff like that, you're using leverage already. So leverage is kind of implied into it already. But this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. It sounds like he's a pretty smart guy. This is something that's brand new. No one has really um, done anything like this before, as far as I know. But I wish them luck, and you know, if this is something that you might be interested in, like this is the
with the new Schwab Starter Kit, open an account.
This is the same channel. The guy, you know, look how young this guy is. You know, he's probably like 30, might be 35, but not even a year ago or whatever. 2 years ago, his portfolio was like 600,000, and then, you know, within like a couple of years, you know, it goes to, you know, 1.2 million and 15,000 a month. Um, but you know, he shows his positions. He basically manages his and his wife's account. This is his wife, Erica. Adrian is this guy. Um, he's a Canadian dude. He just made a video about he sold CLM. CLM was one of the stocks that I put in my portfolio based on what I saw on his, but CLM basically got killed, and I actually still have it in that little 500 rinky-dink account, but I need to probably get rid of that one as well. But let me just look at his channel real quick, because you can see 1.2 million, 14, almost $15,000 a month. But he interviews all these fund managers, and like I said, basically his portfolio is mainly ETFs and covered call stuff like that. Um, but like 2 years ago, his portfolio value was only 700,000. Um, But basically, you know, if he's getting, you know, 10,000, 15,000 every month, you know, he just, hey, I'm gonna throw 10,000 at this ETF, and then next month I'll throw 10,000 at that ETF, and you know, sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, but you know, when you got so many ETFs that are yielding, you know, crazy high dividends, you can be wrong on a few. You know, this one is talking about QLD. But yeah, just to see, just in just 2 years, I mean, to go from 660 and 5,000 a month to um, you know, 1.2 million, 15,000 a month. I mean, it's basically tripled. And when I've said this before, and I'll say it again, the when you're getting paid monthly dividends, it actually increases the compounding effect by 1%. So if you have a ETF or stock that's paying, say, 10% dividend monthly, you know, it's really 11%, because it's compounding 12 times a year instead of compounding, you know, yearly or quarterly or whatever. So and it kind of helps with by dollar cost averaging naturally, really. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to point this guy out, and if you're interested in these, you know, the max funds, to check that guy. He's kind of like the expert in these kind of areas, and this is what I was talking about the CLM, and why he sold, but. Anyway, thanks for watching.